Looking for practical ways to reduce your carbon footprint from home? Or maybe you're wondering what a carbon footprint even is? Don't worry, I got you. Hey all, hey, it's Ashley Renne and welcome to my sustainable lifestyle and tech channel. Now, I regularly post videos about my smart home, my electric car, and other topics related to sustainability. So if you're into that kind of thing, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. Now, today's video is all about reducing your carbon footprint while you're in the comfort of your home. What is a carbon footprint anyway? Basically, it's the total amount of greenhouse gas emissions like carbon dioxide and methane that are generated by our everyday actions. These growing levels of carbon dioxide, methane, and other pollutants have a huge impact on people and the environment in many ways. So here are 15 ways you can reduce your carbon footprint at home. Carbon offsets. All right, tip number one is to support businesses that offset your carbon emissions. So anytime you buy a product, you increase your carbon footprint because of the carbon emissions that were generated to create that product and deliver it to you. However, sustainable companies like Peet's Coffee, for example, can help you make up for that carbon footprint by offsetting it. So Peet's Coffee has a curated subscription that sponsors carbon-absorbing mangrove trees for each delivery that is sent to you. This is huge. So a big part of fighting climate change is finding ways to remove carbon from the atmosphere, and studies show mangrove trees are storing 3 to 5 times more carbon dioxide than rainforests. So if you're a coffee drinker, which I mean many of you are, you can help fight climate change just by switching to another coffee brand. Peet's Coffee is the first coffee subscription that offsets carbon emissions. So for each monthly subscription delivery, they'll sponsor 3 mangrove trees to offset your carbon dioxide emissions for that month. Now, they even send you the exact coordinates of said mangrove trees you helped sponsor. You can watch them grow with Google Maps and know that they'll be absorbing carbon dioxide for years to come. I think that's so dope. Companies need to do their part to create sustainable products for us to consume, and the more we support these companies who are doing that, then the more pressure we can put on other companies to hop on board. So that's why my very first tip in this video is to support brands that are accountable for their actions to the environment and really making that effort to become more sustainable. And in this case, I mean, you get to support great hand-roasted coffee, a great organization, and be socially responsible at the same time. Now let's talk about energy consumption at home. My second tip is to install solar panels on your house. I know it sounds like a big change to make, but I promise you, this is where things are headed. Solar power is more affordable, accessible, and prevalent in the United States than ever before. You should get it because solar energy creates clean, renewable power from the sun. It's an eco-friendly alternative to fossil fuels that reduces your carbon footprint at home and lowers greenhouse gases all around the world. Tip 3 is to use energy-efficient insulation in your home that reduces the exchange of heat so that less cool air escapes your house in the summer and less warm air escapes during the winter. So the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, estimates that homeowners can save about 15% on heating and cooling costs by air sealing their homes and adding insulation in attics and floors over crawl spaces and basements. Pretty good. Now, tip number 4 in the energy category is to use energy efficient smart tech. Now, I give plenty of ideas in my ultimate smart home tour video, like smart blinds that help you maximize natural light usage, smart fans that help regulate the temperature of your house, smart plugs that prevent your appliances from leaching energy when they aren't in use, and a ton of other examples. So make sure you peep that video to see more ways we use smart technology to reduce our carbon footprint. The next category I want to explore is water usage, which brings me to tip number 5, get a rain barrel. Rain barrels capture water from your roof and store it for later use, such as to water your lawn, your gardens, or your indoor plants. Rain barrels not only help reduce runoff pollution that contaminate our waterways, but also help reduce the amount of water entering the overloaded storm sewers in your area. Tip 6. It's a pretty straightforward one. Take shorter showers. Taking a long shower every day uses a lot more water than you think. According to Home Waterworks, the average American shower uses 15.8 gallons of water and lasts for about 7.8 minutes on average. Tip 7 is to use your dishwasher. Contrary to popular belief, a dishwasher is more sustainable than hand washing. I know, crazy. But it's because usually dishwashers use less water. So to be the most water efficient, make sure you only run your dishwasher with a full load, run it on the shortest cycle setting, and don't run the pre-rinse. Okay, let's move into a new home category, the food in your kitchen. Tip 8 is to cook plant-based meals. Now, y'all know I've been vegan since 2016 and I could talk for hours about all the benefits, but for this video, I just want to point out the giant carbon footprint of meat and dairy, which is responsible for roughly 15% of global greenhouse gas emissions, and that's a conservative estimate. Eating a vegan diet can actually significantly lower your environmental impact. Meat and dairy products require a lot of land, water, and energy to produce. They also create a lot of methane, which is a greenhouse gas. Animal agriculture is extremely water intensive, y'all. Beef is typically regarded as the most water intensive food item, requiring the average of nearly 1,800 gallons of water for 1 pound of beef. Tip 9 in the kitchen category is to compost. When you throw away food, it enters landfills where it rots and generates methane emissions. Composting is an eco-friendly way to prevent this kind of polluting food waste. Plus, composting is free, doesn't use energy to produce, and it provides nutrients to your outdoor garden. Tip 10 is to grow your own food. Now, as I said earlier, anytime you buy a product, carbon is emitted during its production and its transport. But the more food you grow, the less new food you have to buy and the lower your carbon footprint. Boom, boom. So I even regrow store-bought food from scraps. Check out my video on regrowing scallions to see an example of an easy one to try. The next home category is laundry. A lot of resources go into doing laundry. It releases not just dirt into the water and the environment, but also detergent, chemicals, and synthetic fragrances, genetically modified enzymes, carbon dioxide, and microplastics. So, tip 11 is to use plant-based detergents, or you can make your own. Look for labels that indicate that the product is biodegradable and phosphate-free and is plant-based instead of petroleum-based, which means it's healthier for the planet from production all the way to the rinse cycle. All right, tip 12. Stop using a fabric softener and dryer sheets, okay? Not only is it unnecessary, it's an unnecessary added expense to your laundry routine, but those scented softeners and sheets contain hazardous chemicals, and the production of these chemicals increases your carbon footprint, right? Tip 13, use cold water when doing laundry. Now, a good chunk of the energy needed to do a load of laundry goes into heating the water. So using cold water saves energy and it'll save on your electric bill too. Lastly, let's take a look at the carbon footprint of our closets. Tip 14 is to stop buying fast fashion, consume less fashion in general, and avoid impulse purchases. According to the UN, the fashion industry accounts for about 10% of global carbon emissions and 20% of wastewater. Finally, tip 15, shop secondhand, buy vintage, and or rent clothing. This helps extend the use of our clothing items and cuts down on new purchases. Okay, that's all I got for today, but I think it was plenty to get you started. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe for more sustainable lifestyle videos just like this. I'll catch you next week in a new video, and until then, stay green, y'all.